What can we learn about interplanetary travel from dogs? Although man's best friend might not know much about fluid dynamics, rocket design, or the surface of Mars, humans have a lot to learn from what dogs know well. Good evening, everybody. My name is Zach, and this is my best friend, Layla. Together, we spend our time exploring the wonderful mysteries of planet Earth. So I guess you could call me a dog person. You wouldn't be wrong in that respect. But apart from just being a guy who loves his dog, I'm just another aerospace engineer who dreams of someday being an astronaut. In the course of our adventures, Layla has accompanied me everywhere, from the beaches to the desert to the workshop, exploring all the wonderful things that the Earth has to share. Eventually, we made it to here, a clear, cold night in the middle of nowhere, blessed with the sky littered with stars, the kinds so bright that you just become entranced in the universe. In a moment of awe, looking up and admiring the sky, I looked over and saw my dog looking up in curiosity at those very same stars. So just for a moment, it seemed as though we sat still. My dog, the universe, and myself. It was a perfect moment. And that night, a star in particular caught my attention. It's that bright blip you see between the stars, between the trees. That star is known as Sirius, and it just so happens to be the brightest thing in the entire night sky. For centuries, it's captured the imagination of humanity and connected cultures from around the globe. Now, tonight is about stories. In human history, at the dawn of storytelling itself, we mapped our greatest legends into the constellations. They were a picture book in the heavens accessible to everyone. And we just so happened to make our brightest star the heart of a dog. Over a millennium and a half after the Greek astronomer Ptolemy first described of the dog amongst the stars, humanity decided to put one there. In the fall of 1957, a street dog named Laika bravely launched through our atmosphere to become the first ever living creature to look back at Earth. It was a paw outstretched to the stars, leading the way for boot prints to follow. This was the suit Laika wore when she bravely became the greatest explorer of her species. This is the suit Layla wears when I take pictures of her. Now, a guy building his dog a spacesuit isn't exactly what you'd call normal, but it is what you'd call passionate and curious and fun. And I think those are things we need more of in the world. I don't do things to be normal. Frankly, it doesn't excite me. And it doesn't excite Layla either. That's why we explore. Why have dogs been mankind's companions into the wild unknown for as long as we've been brave enough to venture it? The answer is surprisingly human. Pointing. Pointing is a fundamental building block to our language. It's how we connect our ideas to objects to emotions. It's how we communicate with the world. And dogs are the only ones who seem to get it. Pointing is not universal in the animal kingdom. It requires a sense of shared intentionality, the ability to think that some other being has the same thoughts you do. And dogs were the only ones brave enough to trust that someone would help them. And they were the only ones willing enough to help us back. That's why dogs are awesome. Our relationship with dogs connects us to nature, back to home. It's our relationship with dogs that drives us to answer our burning questions about the universe. So, I want to know more about the universe we live in. There's really something fundamentally human about that, and perhaps something fundamentally dog. Layla's never one to shy away from an adventure, so I guess we're just going to have to explore the world we have around us. At the same time, humanity will continue to explore outer space. What you're looking at is a picture of the darkest pinpoint in our night sky, yet it is bright and alive and beautiful. And apart from a few single stars, everything you see is a galaxy of its own. That's why we explore. In the words of NASA, to feed forward the advance of the human spirit. And so we do. With a passion for adventure in every endeavor, we try to cement our place amongst the stars. So I'll ask again, what can we learn about interplanetary travel from dogs? If we are to go boldly and bravely and to truly be star sailors, perhaps mankind's earliest companion in facing the unknown, can give us perspective as we face the final frontier. Take a lesson from a dog. Find your passion and seek answers to the questions that make you curious. It's not good enough just to have your head in the stars. You have to try to reach for them. I challenge you to live today and to live every day after like a good dog would. Find your spirit, find your passions, stay curious, and be kind. And I'll leave you with this. Cum bona canem ad astra. To the stars with the good dogs. Thank you.